Have you ever noticed that whatever you focus on starts to feel bigger? If you focus on what's not working, it could feel like your whole life is falling apart. If you focus on the delay, the silence gets even louder. If you focus on the rejection, your confidence can start to shrink. But when you focus on the good, not in a fake way, not in a pretend everything is perfect kind of way, but in a grounded, intentional, faith-filled way, something begins to shift. Your spirit gets lighter. Your mind gets clearer. Your hope gets stronger. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because I saw a post on LinkedIn that said, focus on the good and the good gets better. I love that. That thing stayed with me because I'm on day 70 of posting 100 days straight while I search for an overseas job. But truthfully, it's more than that. So much more than that. This is about discipline. It's about faith. This is about becoming the kind of woman who keeps showing up, even when life hasn't handed her a yes yet. So today we're talking about what it means to focus on the good, especially when you're still waiting. Hey y'all, I'm Vanessa, and welcome to Ways of Change, where I document my journey of reinvention, faith, courage, and my pursuit of an overseas opportunity as I prepare for my next chapter. I like saying that, preparing for my next chapter. And if you've ever been in a season where you're doing the work, planting the seeds, showing up, and still waiting on the harvest, this episode is for you. So let's start with the job hunt. I applied once again to a position in Australia with the Department of the Navy. And to be honest, it's a little humbling because I still haven't heard anything back from the previous applications I submitted to Australia. No update, no interview, no rejection, just silence. And if you've ever been in a season like that with jobs, business, relationships, dreams, then you already know silence can start playing games with your mind. Silence can make you wonder, did they see it? Like Medea said, do they see me? Was I qualified enough? Did I miss something? Should I keep going? Am I wasting my time? But I applied anyway. And that matters because sometimes courage doesn't look like confidence. Courage can look like trying again. It could look like showing up again, submitting again, believing again, even when you don't have proof yet, even when you don't have applause yet, even when you don't have reassurance yet. And I also completed my engagement hour today by liking and commenting on LinkedIn, still staying visible, staying connected, still watering the ground I'm hoping will eventually produce opportunity. Now, is it glamorous every day? No ma'am, no sir. Sometimes it feels repetitive. Sometimes it feels small. Sometimes it feels like, Lord, is this doing anything? But I've learned that not every meaningful thing in your life is going to feel dramatic while you're doing it. Some things are building quietly. Some things are working underground. And this season is reminding me that consistency may not always be flashy, but it's powerful. And while I was on LinkedIn, I came across a quote. Focus on the good and the good gets better. And I said, wow. I did, because that's such a needed word in a waiting season. It's so easy to fixate on what hasn't happened yet. The unanswered application, the open loop, the delayed opportunity, the closed door, the support you thought would come that didn't. And before you know it, your whole emotional life starts getting shaped by disappointment, by delay, by lack, by comparison. But what if, right in the middle of all that, you made a deliberate choice to focus on what is still good? Not because everything is perfect, but because what you magnify affects how you move. I really believe this. What you focus on grows in your awareness. If you focus on every closed door, you'll start to feel like your whole life is rejection. If you focus on every delay, you'll convince yourself that nothing is moving. If you focus on every disappointment, you may miss the quiet blessings that are still unfolding around you. But if you focus on the good, you begin to notice that maybe all is not lost. Maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're being prepared. Maybe you're not forgotten. Maybe things are still moving, just not in the way you can measure yet. Because good doesn't always show up as a huge breakthrough. Sometimes good looks like this. You had strength to apply today. You have hope left. You made it through another day without giving up. You stayed consistent. You still have vision. You still have breath in your body. You still have something to offer. That is good, my friend. And sometimes we overlook those things because we are waiting for a bigger headline. But gratitude for the small good can help stabilize you while you wait for the bigger good. Now let me say this clearly. Focusing on the good does not mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending disappointment doesn't hurt. It doesn't mean bypassing your feelings. It doesn't mean acting like everything is fine when your heart is hurting. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about being honest without becoming hopeless. I'm talking about acknowledging the silence without building your identity around it. You can say, yes, I'm still waiting, and also say, but I'm grateful I still have the courage to keep going. You could say, yes, I haven't heard back yet. And you could also say, but I'm proud of myself for not giving up. You could say, yes, this season is stretching me, but also say, but God is still with me in it. That's maturity. That's emotional wisdom. That's how you protect your peace while you're still in transition. And that's why this whole 100-day challenge has become bigger than I expected. Yeah, I'm posting 100 days straight to search for an overseas job. That's true, but it's more than that. It's more than job applications. It's more than LinkedIn engagement. It's more than visibility. This challenge is showing me who I am. It's revealing my habits, my discipline, my resilience, my fears, my ability to keep going when the emotional return is low. And I think that's one of the hidden gems of consistency. What starts out as strategy becomes a mirror. You set out trying to reach a goal, and somewhere along the way you meet yourself. And maybe that's part of the good getting better too. Not just the outcome, but me becoming better in the process. More anchored, more steady, more faithful, more disciplined, more clear. That matters. That matters a whole lot. The anchor scripture for this episode is Philippians 4:8. King James Version. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. If there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. I love this verse because it doesn't tell us to think on fantasy. It doesn't tell us to deny reality. It tells us to direct our minds toward what is true, what is lovely, what is worthy, what carries virtue, what carries praise. Because if we don't guide our minds will wander straight into fear. They'll replay the negative, magnify the delay, invent the worst case scenarios, catastrophize everything. So the scripture is a reminder, be intentional about what you rehearse, because the thoughts you rehearse becomes the atmosphere you live in. And in this season, I want my atmosphere to have some hope in it, some peace in it, some gratitude in it, some expectancy in it. Friend, maybe your version of Australia is something else. Maybe it's a business you're trying to launch, a move you're trying to make, a healing journey that feels slower than you expected, a relationship that needs repair, a dream you keep revisiting, a next chapter that hasn't fully opened yet. And maybe you're in that strange place where you're doing all the right things, but the result still hasn't shown up yet. That can be exhausting, I know. But I want to remind you today, the absence of visible results is not always the absence of progress. Sometimes roots are growing underground. Sometimes character is being built before the opportunity arrives. Sometimes your capacity is expanding so you could actually sustain the thing you've been praying for. And sometimes focusing on the good is how you stay emotionally healthy long enough to receive what's coming. So what does it actually look like to focus on the good? Here are a few simple ways. First, name what is still working. Even in a hard season, something is still good. Second, celebrate effort, not just outcomes. Showing up matters. Trying matters. Applying matters. Consistency matters. Third, watch yourself talk. Because if every day you tell yourself nothing is working, your spirit starts to believe it. And fourth, practice gratitude without pressure. Not fake positivity, not forced happiness, just honest recognition that even here, goodness still exists. Sometimes that's how you keep your heart soft while you wait. So yeah, I applied to Australia again. Yes, I'm still waiting to hear back from the previous Department of the Navy applications. And yeah, there are moments when silence feels so heavy. But today, instead of only focusing on what I have not heard, I want to focus on what's good. The good is I still have another chance to apply. The good is I still have the discipline to keep showing up. The good is I'm 70 days into a challenge that many have already quit. The good is that this journey is shaping me. The good is that I'm building something bigger than this job search. The good is that I'm not the same woman I was when I started. And honestly, that kind of good really does get better because it strengthens you from the inside out. So grab your paper, grab your journals, grab your napkins, whatever you have to write on. I have 3 journaling prompts for you. So here they are. Number 1, what good is present in my life right now that I may have overlooked because I'm too focused on what hasn't happened yet? Number 2, in this season? What evidence do I have that I'm still growing, even if the external results are slow? And the third one, what would it look like for me to intentionally focus on what is true, lovely, and hopeful this week? Sit with those, write slowly, be honest. Because sometimes journaling helps you see what the worry has been hiding. And if this message resonated with you, I want you to go watch my previous episode, Look for the Silver Lining. That episode pairs beautifully with this one because it also speaks to finding hope and meaning in uncertain seasons. So when you finish this video, go watch the next one. And in the comments, tell me this. What good are you choosing to focus on right now? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your peace. Maybe it's your consistency. Maybe it's the fact that you're still here. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. Subscribe to the channel and come along with me on this 100-day journey as I search for an overseas job, build the next chapter, and share the real lessons that comes with change. Hey, my friend, focus on the good, not because life is perfect, but because your peace is precious, because your perspective matters. Your thoughts shape your atmosphere, and because sometimes the breakthrough begins with what you choose to notice. Hey, thank you for being here with me for day 70 of Ways of Change. And remember, even in the waiting, even in the silence, even in the uncertainty, there is still good here. And when you focus on the good gets better. I'll see you on the next one. I'm Vanessa, and this is Ways of Change. You know what? This may be day 71, but I'll correct that later if it is. Bye now.